Oh, and now we're live. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 4 of the Zone Podcast, where we debate sports. My name is Monte Dixon. I am your host, along with my co-host, Banik Maradi. And we have two special guests with us, Gio and Danny. How you guys doing today?
Doing fantastic. Doing great.
Doing pretty
Never
good.
been better.
Now we got 4. We got 4 on today. So it should, you know what I'm saying? We should see more debating going on. I'm excited. See everybody's list. So today we're going over our top 10s of the NFL and NBA. And let's just jump right in it. Why not, right?
Jump right into it.
Let's go.
So Banik, we're gonna start off with your list.
Yes.
Of the NBA. Your top
And
10.
I just want to clarify, this NBA list is not based off this year. It's based off the past couple of years. The NFL is based strictly off this year.
Yes. So this is
Just want to make that clear.
This is in general. All right.
Yes. Okay. So my number one player for the NBA.
Your number one. You want to start
Oh,
with
number
one?
10. Number 10. I'm tweaking already.
I just want to make sure you want to start off with number 10.
No, I want to start at number 10.
All right.
I want to start at number 10. All right. So number 10 is Damian Lillard. What a guy, right? What a guy.
What a guy. That is what a guy. Mm-hmm.
Over the past 2 or 3 years, especially last year, I feel like Dame's, we all know Dame's been good, but he was really good last year. Like, he exploded last year. At least I feel like on a national stage.
Yeah, he did before he got hurt, and then he came back, and then
he had to stretch it like 3 or 4 games where he was averaging like 40 plus points per game. I mean, it was ridiculous last year. He averaged a career high 30 points per game. 30 points per game in general is insane. He played a career high minutes. He shot 46% from the field, another career high. Shot 40% from 3, another career high. I mean, he was going crazy last year. He was going insane. Just so he's one of the best. He's the second best point guard in the NBA right now. Easily.
Right now, you think so?
Easily, yes. And I don't think it's very close, to be honest. I think the number 1 and number 2 are pretty solidified.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. After the bubble, you know, I was starting to like, Jamal Murray is kind of getting up there a little bit.
Yeah.
But because the way he was playing, he was putting up numbers 35, 30.
He was going
that
crazy
game against Donovan Mitchell. He was going crazy.
But also to me, he's not really a point guard.
I thought it was transition this year, but it didn't.
To me, he's not really a point guard. Jamal Murray is more of like that kind of Colin Sexton head ass type, where he's like a shooting guard that plays point guard.
Yeah,
because he's just a bucket. He's a playmaker. He's a bucket. I don't really see him as a pure one.
Okay.
But yeah, number 10, definitely Dame Lillard. Definitely top 2 point guards in the NBA. I mean, we all know he's one of the best players in the league.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Number 9. Also, and a very cool guy. Very cool guy. Plays for the Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid.
Interesting.
Currently one of the MVP frontrunners this year. That played a little bit into why he's on top of my list, but he's also one of the best rim protectors in the league. He's insanely good on defense.
Right.
And even though last year he played less minutes than he usually does, he dropped off about 4 minutes. He was still dominant. I mean, he averaged 23 points, 11.5 boards, 3 assists, 1.3 blocks, and 1 steal per game. You know, I mean, he's that guy for Philly. He's their best player. I love Ben Simmons. I love him. I love that guy. But Joel Embiid is definitely their best player.
See, but I got a question for you guys, though, for all of you. Because speaking about the 76ers, they've had expectations every year to go further in the playoffs, and it's always something. So do you guys feel like it's time to move on from either Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons?
Absolutely.
I think it's time to move on from Ben. What do you guys think?
Me too. I think they should definitely. I think Ben's probably the best guy to trade.
As well. Yeah.
I think just mostly because I feel like Ben somehow has more value than Joel Embiid.
You think Ben has more value?
Because he's a guard, and it's a guard league now. I mean, nobody's really going to give up too much. I mean, unless it's Anthony Davis. And Joel Embiid's that dude, too. I don't think he's on the level of Anthony Davis. But, Joel Embiid's great, but I feel like Ben definitely has more value just because he's an elite. He was definitely in the running for defensive player of the year last year, in my opinion. He's one of the best defenders in the league. He's a 6'8" point guard. He can do everything except shoot. So I think he has extreme value. So I think he would definitely be the piece to trade.
You could plug him in as a 3 too.
You could plug him into any position.
Anywhere,
you can run any position on the floor except for shooting guard because can't shoot.
Yeah,
can't shoot the ball.
So that's your number 9. Not bad. Not bad.
My number 8. Again, a great guy, great at basketball. One of the best, actually. One of the best at putting the ball in the hoop. It's James Harden. What a guy! And
James Harden.
What do I have to say for James Harden? I mean, the man's a bucket. The man is simply a bucket.
2
years ago, or actually 3 years ago, 36 points per game. Last year, 34 points per game. This year, a little bit less, but he just started. He's only averaging 29 points per game. But he can do everything. He's become a way better defender. He's a great playmaker. He's probably the top 2 ISO ball players in the league. And he's a winning basketball player. He wins games. I mean, last year versus the year before versus Golden State.
Right.
He dragged that series to 6 games. Like literally he carried because Chris Paul did not play or he was injured. He dragged them 6 games against the Golden State Warriors with KD, with Steph, with Clay, with Dre before KD got hurt. He dragged them to 6 games. I mean, he's one of the best offensive players in NBA history. And over the past couple of years, he's definitely, proven that. He's backed that up.
But I feel like the thing that he has to prove mainly is that he can win while being a ball hog as he is. Because, I feel like Kobe's probably the only one who, and probably Jordan, the only one who's been able to win a finals and get rings.
And you see, there's 2 things in common with those two. Phil Jackson. I feel like James Harden would be one hell of a fucking player in that triangle, in that triangle offense. Because Kobe and Jordan, I mean, they obviously play exactly alike. And James Harden, he's the same kind of ISO ball. Just give him the ball and get the fuck out the way. Right. So I feel like you put him in Phil Jackson's system. I mean, that team's succeeding.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like, I feel like he's gonna have to, if he really wants the ring, he's gonna have to change his game up. He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to give up the ball. He's gonna have to team up with somebody. Russ wasn't the answer because they both are ball dominant. I mean, they're the highest scoring duo ever. I'll give them. Yeah. They were the highest scoring duo ever, but it didn't lead to anything. I think he's gonna need to pair up with a superstar where he's gonna have to change his game up, and that other superstar is gonna have some experience going deep in the playoffs and maybe even the finals. But
Chris Paul was that guy. He just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, Chris Paul got that. Chris Paul got hurt. They had it.
They missed 27 straight threes. Oh, man.
Yeah.
What a team.
Yeah, what a team.
What a team.
So this moves you on to number 7.
Yes, number 7. Another. Like, it's the theme of my list. They're all great guys. Great at basketball.
Of course, it's top 10. Yeah,
they're top 10. They're all pretty good at basketball. And before this, I thought we were doing it based off this season so far. He was my number 1, but he's dropped all the way number 7. It's Nikola Jokic. What a guy. What an absolute guy. He's the best center in the NBA. He's easily the best center in the NBA to me.
I think so too. Yep. I think so. I've been saying that for the past
just his offense is ridiculous. I mean, he can literally do it all. He can shoot. He has such an underrated mid-range. His post hooks are insane. His post game is crazy. And also, I mean, he can average. What is he averaging this year? 11 assists and 11 and a half boards a game. That is insane. That is pure domination. And imagine if he was averaging more points. I mean, he's already averaging 26. He's averaging 26, 11, and 10. No, 26, 11, and 11 and a half. My fault. That's insane.
A triple-double as a big man.
I said this before. If he averages a triple-double as a big man, he's MVP. I don't care if they don't make the playoffs. He's my MVP in my heart. In my heart, my soul. But, I mean, he's insane. Even last year, he only averages 20 points per game, but he was averaging 10 boards and 7 assists. The year before that, 20 points, 11 boards, 7 assists. Like, he's just that dude. He's like Russell Westbrook, but like efficient. It's so crazy. And play center.
Yeah, good joke.
It's so crazy. He is averaging 5 turnovers this year, though.
I mean, he does have the ball in his hand a lot.
Yeah, but 5 turnovers still, that's terrible.
The way he plays, he passes the ball crazy.
I mean, other than that, besides his just pure like base stats, he's shooting 57% from the field and 44% from 3 on 3 attempts per game as a center. That is insane. That is insane. That's insane. And he's shooting 61% on 2-point attempts, which is also insane. I mean, he's insane. He's great. He's the best center. Best center in the league.
So this brings you to number 6.
Yes, it brings me to number 6, my boy. My defensive player of the year. Not Giannis. Anthony Davis.
Yes, sir.
What a guy, right? What a guy.
Let's go, Lakers.
Gave our entire team for him, and it was worth it because we won a chip. But that's not the point. The past 3 years, I mean, we've all seen what Anthony Davis can do. We've all seen his ridiculous stat lines of like 50 points, 18 boards, and 8 blocks or some crazy shit. Just some out of this world shit that, we never see.
Right.
And I mean, last year, 26 points per game. Year before that, 26 points per game. This year, he's taken off a drop. It fell off a cliff a little bit, but it's because, I mean, all the Lakers are getting off to a little slow start. But, I mean, he can stretch the floor as a big, and that makes him insane. And he's top 2 defenders in the league, so he can stretch. He's a 3-and-D big, an elite 3-and-D big.
I thought he brought a different dimension to the league because he was a point guard in high school, I believe.
Yes.
And
his dribble moves are insane for a big man.
He's been ball handling since he was in high school, and then he happened to grow to 7 foot. And
the man's ball handling.
You basically see a bigger, stronger sort of Kevin Durant in a way.
Yes, literally.
Yeah.
He's
everything.
He's insane. There's not one thing he can't do.
Right.
I think he's a great defender. He's a great playmaker. He can. He's not a great shooter, but he's a good shooter for a big man. 32% from 3. This year, he's shooting 40% on 4 attempts per game, which is insane for a power forward. I mean, there's nothing he can't do. It's so insane.
Guaranteed.
He's the best power forward in the league. I think he's. Even though I do have Giannis ahead of him, I think that I would take Anthony Davis over Giannis. But I was trying to keep my bias out of it. So I put him at number 6. I think easily on his best day, he is a top 3 player in the league. And on his worst, he is a top 10, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But he's really good. He's easily, this year or next year, I could see him being the best player on the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron's aging. I mean, he did say himself, like, it's his time now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Anthony Davis, one of a kind player, I would say.
Yeah, literally a generational talent.
Yeah, he's a generational talent.
Crazy because we keep saying generational talents, but we're gonna see more players like Anthony Davis because we've seen more players.
I don't know, man.
We've seen more players like LeBron.
Who's like LeBron? Ben Simmons? Ben Simmons not.
Who's built like who plays like LeBron?
No,
I feel like Ben Simmons plays a little bit like LeBron. Who? I feel like you can compare Zion to LeBron.
No, you can't. Zion and LeBron are two way different players.
I mean, how they're built, not how they play.
I don't think anybody's built like Zion.
I don't think anybody's built like LeBron. I think they're built kind of similar a little bit.
I don't think LeBron's 280, so I mean.
He was in Miami or in Cleveland.
6'10", 240?
6'9", right? 6'9", 240 right now. But in Miami, I think his last year in Cleveland, he was
280.
Listen, I'm just saying there was a lot of people comparing LeBron and Zion. We're seeing a lot more of the way that people play the game like LeBron. A lot of these point forwards. Ben Simmons is a perfect example.
There's more point forwards in the league. I agree with
He's
that.
definitely opened up the game for positionless basketball. And Anthony Davis Anthony Davis, you could call literally a point forward because he played point guard and now he's a power forward. He has the dribble moves. He has the playmaking. He's insane. It's insane that he's on our team.
No, he's on a different level.
On a way different level.
All right, and that brings you to number 5.
Yes, someone that we brought up in this very conversation. Kevin Durant. What a guy, right? What a guy. The only reason he's not in my top 3 is because he didn't play last year, and that was it was hard to put him.
Yeah, I tweet on my list.
Yeah, in my top 3. Basing it off the past 2 or 3 years, if he didn't play last year, but the last year in Golden State, he was insane. 52% from the field, 35% from 3, 26 points per game, 6.5 boards, 6 assists, a steal and a block per game. That's insane numbers. And not even 3 turnovers per game, even though it is just 2.9. Not 3. Well, I mean, we all know who Kevin Durant is. That man is a pure bucket. And his defense has gotten better, which is insane because he wasn't a bad defender in OKC.
Right.
He was a mid defender. When he came to Golden State the last couple of years, he was a very good defender. I wouldn't say elite, but he was a very good defender. There was a little bit, maybe like a week or two, where people were like, can he be the defensive player of the year? Which was crazy. But he was a very good defender. And so far to start off this year, I mean, coming off an Achilles tear, the man's looked insane. I mean, he's averaging 28 points per game on 51% shooting, 45% from 3.
Yeah, he's going
coming off an Achilles tear.
That didn't change him at all.
At all. He's really not affected by it. Nope. Like, nobody is built like that.
They made him better.
One player is built like that.
But I mean, if you really knew how he played the game, I mean, you already knew that his game wouldn't change that much because I mean he's not known as an explosive player.
No, it's not like D Rose or something.
He's not like a Gerald Green or he's a mid-range guy. Get to his spot and
because KD's coming off that screen and he's just draining it every single time. His mid-range game is insane.
But even when he was exploding off of that foot that he had his Achilles tear.
Yeah, I mean,
in the Wizards game,
crazy dunk in the first game, I think, right?
Yeah, and he had a couple crossovers that, oh my god,
he's insane. I mean, easily, if we were going like farther than like 2 or 3 years, I mean, he's number 2. He's been the second best player in the NBA for so long. Yeah, for so long.
I would say,
and there were times, I cannot lie, where he was poking at one spot. He never grabbed it, I don't think, but.
Nah, he was the best at one point.
He was definitely knocking on the door for a couple of days.
Yeah, I think he's the most efficient scorer of all time. I think that's
I mean, his career averages is just under 50% from the 3, or from the field. My fault, and 38%.
Yeah, he got better. I mean,
he's insane. He's insane. He's one of the best.
This comes to your 4th.
Yes.
Yes.
And it might be a little weird to have him at number 4, considering the fact that he has won the last 2 MVPs. But my number 4 is Giannis. Okay. And the only reason I have him at number 4 is because he hasn't won. Everybody in my top 3 has won. They've won. They've been there. Giannis choked against Toronto. I mean, Toronto clamped him up.
I wouldn't say he choked. I mean, he averaged 23, 24.
Yeah, I don't think he choked. I think that was just a fantastic coaching scheme by Nick Nurse. I mean, I watched the whole video about it. They changed their scheme completely on the fly to clamp down Giannis after they were down. They were down 2-0.
They did a great job.
They won 4 straight. They clamped Giannis up. And then last year, I mean, he was injured during the series. But he was injured for probably the last 2 games. You can't. I mean, they were down 2-1, 3-1 when he got hurt. I mean, you can't. To me, he's one of the best players in the NBA. But winning is a huge part of these rankings, to me at least. And if you're not winning, I mean, how can I justify you putting you over 3 of my guys? But the reason he's number 4, I mean, he's insane. He's won 2 of the last MVPs. He was Defensive Player of the Year last year. Last year averaged 29.5 points, 13 rebounds, 5.6 assists, a steal and a block, shooting 55% of the field, 30% from 3. That is insane. I mean, to me, he's a center, honestly, the way he plays. But they have him classified according to Basketball Reference, power forward, point guard, small forward, shooting guard. So everything except for center. I don't understand shooting guard.
No, he can literally do everything. I mean, he needs a shot.
It's because he played shooting guard his second year in the league. That makes sense.
Wow.
But
I think he grew in the league. I think.
Yeah. But I mean, that's insane. It's insane. He's an insane player. we've never seen anything like him, and I don't think we're ever going to see anything like him for a very long time.
Long.
We're going to see things like him, but not like him.
That's why they call him the Greek Freak.
Not even 6'10", he's 6'11", 6'11", 242. Man runs the fast break like
probably
he's a
7 foot. He probably 7 foot at that.
Probably 7 foot. 7 foot, 200 pounds or 240 pounds. He can run the floor like LeBron, and he can dunk like he's Shaq. It's insane. It's insane. He's one of the most insane players, literally in NBA history, to be honest.
And that brings you to number 3, where it starts to get a little tighter here, and where
And number honestly, my 1 through 5 could easily be rearranged. My 2 through 5 could easily be rearranged. I think my number 1 is pretty obvious. But my number 3 is Steph Curry, because he's just that dude. I mean, I know he didn't play last year, so that hurts a lot. But that 2018-2019 playoff run for him, a lot of it without Kevin Durant, half of it without Kevin Durant, and the way that he's played so far this year, I think justifies him being number 3.
Yep.
He played a nice amount of games in 2018-2019, 69 of them. He averaged 40, or he was shooting 47% from the field, 44% from 3 on 7 attempts per game. Or my fault, 11 attempts per game, which is insane. He shot 90. He was almost 50-40-90.
Right.
If he could have just got his 2-point percentage up, I mean, he would have been 50-40-90, which is insane. He averaged 27 points per game. And even last year in the 5 games that he played, he was still averaging 21 points and was shooting god-awful, actually. So last year, there's not much you can do. But that playoff run, the Blazers Western Conference Championship, it was him and Clay, and they swept. I thought the Blazers and they got swept. I mean, it was insane. And this year, he looked like an MVP candidate, shooting 44% from the field, 35 from 3, averaging almost 30 points per game. He's second in the league for scoring right now. I mean, it's Steph Curry. It's Steph Curry. He's easily the best point guard in the league. I think the gap between him and Dame is bigger than the gap between Dame and everybody else. I don't think Dame even really comes close to the level of, because their scoring ability might be on the same wavelength, but Steph Curry just makes that team go. Steph Curry is, if they didn't have Steph Curry, they never would have won a championship. They could have had KD and Clay.
Zero.
They could have had KD and Clay. That's why when KD went down, it was like, you still have Steph. But if Steph went down, I don't think they probably make the finals, but do they win it?
Right.
No. I mean, they didn't win it without Steph. Do they even win 2 games? They might get swept by that Raptors team.
And Bannock, it's crazy to think how much one player can change a whole defensive scheme.
Literally.
In how teams play you, in how teams play now. Now you got players shooting fast break threes.
Steph Curry literally changed the entire league.
He changed the entire league.
In that MVP year, completely changed it.
It's so crazy. He changed the way the Rockets play.
Yes, they literally had to build a team to stop him. That's LeBron shit.
That's
remember LeBron goes through.
I forgot what it was. I think it was like 2 years ago. And they're saying they made their team to beat the Warriors.
Yes, the Rockets literally built their team to beat the Warriors.
It's really
that is LeBron level shit. He is on top 3 player of all time shit. Yeah. It's insane. If he wins a couple more championships, honestly, he's top 5 in my opinion.
He's
already getting there to me.
He has 3 now?
Yes. I think 3 chips, 2 MVPs. The only unanimous MVP in NBA history. He's easily a top 15 player of all time already.
I think when Clay gets back, I think they got a real shot at
definitely
1 or 2 more.
Definitely.
If he gets 5,
if he gets 5, I mean, he might be top 3 if he gets 5.
He's gonna get real close.
He's gonna get real close
to that GOAT conversation.
Because 4 championships, I mean, that's the thing, I think, or 3. Maybe 3 or 4. 3 or 4 is when you really have to be considered as one of the greatest ever.
Right.
3 chips being the best player on your team. Definitely.
Yeah, and you got to be bald too. But this moves us on to your number 2.
My number 2 player. This is probably nobody else probably has him at number 2, which is completely understandable. But I have Kawhi Leonard as my second best player in the NBA. And a lot of it, literally probably 99% of it, Gio is in fact just there, and he's not wrong. But probably 99% of it is that championship run for Toronto. I mean, he carried them. He dragged that team over. That Philly series took over. He was insane. That Game 7 that was the only ever Game 7
iconic photo.
Insane. Like an insane shot. He went to the finals. You know, what happened. He won the chip. Even though the Warriors team did get injured.
Yeah, this is funny because I'm just looking at Gio because of what Kevin
said. Yeah, I mean, Kawhi, he's just that dude. He's just that dude. Kawhi is just that dude. And last year, they choked in the playoffs, which is really tough. But you know what? What can you do? The whole team choked. PG hit the side of the backboard. I mean, he sucks. I hate that guy. I mean, Kawhi is just that dude. He's the best defender in the NBA. Easily. I mean, he's improved his scoring to insane levels. I mean, he's lethal from everywhere on the court. He is the best mid-range game in the NBA. He's the best defender. I think easily he's the number 2 player.
I don't think he has much to prove.
No, I don't think he has anything to prove, which is crazy.
I think he just wants another ring. I mean, he has 2 in 2 different organizations now. He brought the first ring to Toronto.
I mean, he has 2 chips, 2 Finals MVPs, 2 Defensive Player of the Years. I mean, what else? What else do you need him to do?
Yeah, I mean, he
went to a team, became their best player ever in 1 year.
Literally.
Yeah.
Better than
and then went to another team and probably
he's probably the best player
history, to be honest.
Nah, the Clippers. I don't know.
Maybe second to Bob McAdoo. That's probably it. I don't think he's talent-wise. I feel like he's more talented than Chris Paul.
Oh, he is.
Kawhi
Leonard, yeah.
I feel like it just depends on their playoff run.
Chris Paul would have won a chip.
Any team that the Clippers make, they always choke in the playoff for some reason. I don't know what it is.
It's so
really
great.
Don't know what it is though.
Man. It's so lovely to watch the Clippers choke.
I know, right? Let's go Lakers.
You're a Clippers fan, Dan. Don't come in here with that bullshit. Don't come in here with that.
I'm a Raptors fan.
But I'm pretty sure you can guess my number 1.
I think we all agree on this.
It's LeBron James. I don't have to explain anything. You know why. You know why LeBron James is the best player on the planet.
Explain yourself.
He won the chip last year, Finals MVP in the bubble. Let's see. I mean, what else do I have to say besides that, Monte? 2 years ago, yeah, we missed the playoffs. He was injured, or the whole team was injured. He still played great, still averaged 27 points, 7.5 rebounds, or 8.5 rebounds, 8 assists. Last year, 25 points, led the league in assists with 10.
We got you, Kev. Next time.
8 boards.
Next episode, I got you.
Yeah, 25 points, 10 assists, 8 boards, a steal, half a block. Insane. He's the best player on the planet. He's been the best player. He's been the best player for probably 10 or 12 years.
He might retire as the best player.
He's been the best player in the league for the last 10 or 12 years. People have gotten close. People have knocked on his door, but he's never opened that shit. Not one time.
Nah, bro, he opened it, bro.
He has never opened the door to you. He does not lie anybody yet.
All right, so you had a very good top 10 list. Some disagreements, some not, but we'll figure that out soon. But now we move on to Mr. Giovanni Rivera's top 10 list. Do you have any honorable mentions, Mr. Rivera?
No, I do not. But first off, I just want to say my list. I do not like it. I didn't know what to put down, so I just put any random ass players' names.
But I hope you did put random ass players.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
This is not a bad list.
But I
number 10.
At number 10, I'm probably gonna put Jokic at number 10, Nikola Jokic.
Yes, you did.
Understandable.
Just because what Bannick said, the way he's been performing as a center, what he can do with the ball is just amazing to me. So I just feel like he's, top 10 player in the league in my eyes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna speed through these, by the way.
Hold on.
Because I don't got much to say.
I got a question for you.
Ask me a question, bro.
About Nikola Jokic. I think I did not ask Mr. Bannick. All right, so I mean, we rave about how good he is, and the different type of skill level he has compared to other big men in the league. But one thing that every team and every player wants is a ring. So moving our focus point on from Nikola Jokic to the team in general, what's their possibility of getting a ring in the next couple years? Because there's a lot of talent in the West. So what do you think?
We saw how close they were last year.
Right. Do you think they'll ever get that close? Because you never know. It could have been a bubble thing.
I think they will.
They have the talent.
I think that experience definitely helped them out. Because the thing that we all said before about the Nuggets is that they didn't have the experience. That's why they brought in Paul Millsap to add some veteran leadership. But now they were in the Western Conference Finals. It took 5 games against the eventual champions. I mean, they played great. They played great basketball in that Western Conference Finals. It honestly should have been. They should have won 2 games. But Anthony Davis hit that insane 3-pointer when Mason Plumlee didn't know what he was doing on defense. So I think that they definitely have one of the best chances to win a chip very soon. Because I mean, Jokic is what, like 25? Like that's still, he's probably not even in his prime yet. Jamal Murray's not in his prime yet. Michael Porter Jr. is not in his prime yet. Like they're still insanely young.
I think Michael Porter's hurt right now too. So
yeah, he is.
Yeah, I mean, and Michael Porter Jr. is what, 20?
I think like 21. Yeah,
he's young.
None of them are in their primes yet. I mean, imagine Jokic when he's 28.
Wait, how old is Jokic?
Like probably 25 or 26, I would guess. Let's see.
He lost weight too. He's
25 years old. He's 20. He's born in 95. God. Like, imagine him when he's 28 or 29. Like that means the MVP.
That's going to be real scary.
It's going to be very, very scary.
But all right, you move down to number 9.
Number 9 is Luka Doncic.
Luke.
We've seen what he's done so far. He's already a well-known player within his first year in the league. He was a well-known player. I just feel he's going to keep getting better. And right now he's in my top 10 as well.
Okay. So you have number 8 now.
Number 8 is Damian Lillard. You saw, like Bannick stated earlier, what he's done in the last couple of years. It's been phenomenal.
Okay.
But that's all.
Number 7.
I'm going through these fast, bro. So,
that's fine, bro. I mean, yours and his is kind of similar a little bit.
Yeah, that's why, Number 7 is James Harden. You see the numbers he puts up. Yeah, 30+ score every season. Kawhi's at number 6. I know it's pretty, shocking, right?
Number 6.
No, I told you I tweaked, bro. I tweaked.
This one
on my list.
It's okay. Just explain. What was your thought process?
No, like I would move him though.
Oh, okay.
But at the time,
at the time,
I don't know. Just last year.
I do not know.
Last year disappointed me. So his performance last year in the playoffs is why he's at number 6.
Okay. See, that's valid. That makes sense. I understand. Yeah. He did play like trash in that fourth quarter of Game 7.
Number 5.
Number 5 is Anthony Davis.
Man, you had Anthony Davis at 5 too, right?
I had him at 6.
6 man like Lou Will.
He's a very skilled basketball player. Not much to say there. Bannick said everything. 4 is Giannis.
I also had Giannis at 4.
Because, like Bannock said, he hasn't won yet.
I got a
had
question.
him higher, but yeah, tell me what's up.
All right. The thing about Giannis is the playoffs, all right? We understand that he's not a great player, or I mean, he doesn't play up to expectation as people want him to in the playoffs, right? Yeah. So we understand that he just signed a max contract extension with the Milwaukee Bucks. But we really know that he wants a ring, right? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like this year is a good year for them to try and win a ring, or do you still think that they need a couple pieces around them?
I don't think they're gonna win a ring.
You don't think they'll ever win a ring?
No.
Really?
Not the Bucks. No.
I think honestly for me, I think this is their best year. Because who in the East is stopping them? Toronto's not looked too good.
The Nets.
Can the Heat do it again?
Boston.
I mean, the Nets are good, but the Nets have looked ass on defense. Who's guarding Giannis? Jared Allen?
Yeah. The Nets are bad on defense. But I mean, Jared Allen's a rim protector.
Yeah, but is he guarding Giannis?
Jason Tatum is.
We talked about it on the last podcast. How bad that Nets defense is.
Oh yeah, right, exactly. We already know really how bad their defense is.
There's nobody is on that team is gonna be able to guard Giannis.
Like, bro, imagine if Giannis gets switched on to Kyrie. Like, bro, he's killing him. Like, he's literally killing Kyrie.
He doesn't even have to jump though.
Imagine he gets switched on to Joe Harris. Like, what? He's killing him.
Yeah,
he's killing him.
But yeah, that's my question about Boston though.
Fuck what Boston. Happened? Fuck Boston.
What's the question about Boston?
Let's go Lakers.
They're like the only team in the East that I think can stop the Bucks.
Realistically, probably. But again,
what about the Sixers?
Nah. I don't think they have a chance until they change the Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid situation.
Maybe it could work this year.
Maybe.
You don't know that.
Who knows?
We will see.
I mean, Seth Curry definitely is going to help them, but I don't know if he makes them a championship contender. And I don't know if Doc Rivers makes them a championship contender because he's never – I mean, he won a chip with the most – with one of the first super teams.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not like he's known for winning.
They couldn't do it with Jimmy Butler. So, like, I'm just thinking about they can't – they're not going to be able to do it.
Like, nah. They're not doing it. I mean, Brett Brown was a terrible coach, though. I mean, he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't good. Doc Rivers is definitely a better coach.
Terrible.
That's crazy. Yeah, that Clippers team was really different, and he couldn't do anything with that.
Yeah, no, Doc Rivers is an overrated coach, but I think that's a subject for a different podcast.
I'll just say that Doc Rivers is just okay. I'm gonna just leave it at that. He's okay coach.
He's an all right coach.
Cool guy.
Also, Jamal Murray is only 23 years old. So, all right, so you move on to, that team is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And they have Gio.
So Gio, you stated your number 4. Now you're on to number 3.
Number 3 is Stephen Curry.
Okay.
Like Jeremy stated, he is that guy. He's been the best point guard in the league for some quite time now.
Now you're number 2.
I tweaked on my number 2. And my number 2 is Kevin Durant. But because you said the last 2 or 3 years, and but KD he's been a top player in the league. Okay. You can say forever. Number 1, LeBron. Yeah, nothing to say there.
So you don't have Joel Embiid in your top 10?
I do not.
Understandable.
Can I ask why? I just want to know because he's in my top. I mean, he's not. It's not like he's high.
Injuries.
Injuries? Okay, that makes sense. I get it. He is injured a lot.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Danny Martinez,
how you doing?
Come down to you for your top 10. You said you're going to be a little biased on this.
Yeah, like little favorite players, but like it's arguable that they could be on someone's top 10 as well. So
okay, this is your top 10 list. So at number 10, what do you have?
At number 10, I'm gonna put Jason Tatum on number 10.
Number 10. Wait, I want to ask you first of all, who are
like
your
that.
honorable mentions? I would like to know your honorable mentions if you have.
I'm gonna go Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Brandon Ingram, and Sabonis.
Sabonis is a good one. Sabonis is a good one, Dan. But if you're being serious,
wait. Everybody who
just go.
the viewers that are watching here today, please comment what this man just said because I didn't hear him clearly.
You know he's true.
I need you guys to comment. I didn't hear him clearly.
Dan,
what did you say again? What are your honorable mentions?
Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant. When I made this list, I kind of made it like on the last season and kind of this season. And Curry and Durant, I'm pretty sure they were kind of out. So I didn't really want to add them to the list.
Okay.
I understand if you did the last 2 years.
I understand.
So I didn't really do it like
now I get it.
I didn't go as far back as you guys did. I kind of just went back
I get that then.
2 or in this year.
Right.
Jason Tatum, I just feel like that man's a stud.
Okay.
And he's gonna keep developing.
And bro, he's only 19. He's only 19.
Oh, bro.
He's only 19 and
He's only 19.
All right, continue. What is your premise on Jason Tatum? I don't know. I still don't understand.
Hold on.
I understand. Dang, don't worry.
Okay, so that's your number 10.
Number 10, I'm gonna just leave it at he's gonna improve more. He's a superstar now.
He's definitely there.
But is he even the best player on his team right now?
Yes,
oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, Jalen Brown's been playing really good, but he's definitely
Jalen Brown's been playing better than him.
He's been more consistent.
I'm not. Oh, I was about to say. I was so confused. Yeah, no. I mean, Jalen Brown's really good, but Jason Tatum's definitely better than him. He's definitely the best player on that team. And Kemba's good too, but he's not better than JT.
Okay. All right. So that's number 10. What do you have at number 9?
I got Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
At number 9. Gio and Vanek pretty much said everything about that man. That man's he's a bucket. He's a bucket. He's that dude. If I'm gonna start a franchise with a big man, I'm taking him.
Oh yeah, easily every time.
Anthony Davis or him. Bucket.
Okay.
Yes.
Number 8.
I was surprised when none of y'all had him on your list. I'm gonna go with Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
I feel like
understand that as well.
Jimmy Butler, the way he played last year in the bubble in the playoffs was phenomenal. And even before that, he's a good defensive player. He could score as well.
Yes.
And I feel like once he went on the Heat and led them to where they went, I felt like that made him that kind of solidified that spot for me on my list.
I didn't have any honorable mentions, but Jimmy Butler is definitely he's up there. I could completely understand having him in your top 10 because he really he's probably my favorite player in the league. He's just that dude.
Yeah, he is. And you could see from the different teams he's been in Philly and the Timberwolves, he was pretty much the leader. And even now in Miami, he's that guy.
He's like if Michael Jordan couldn't really score very good. Jimmy Butler's still a great scorer, but he can't score like Michael Jordan.
I mean, he's a good scorer though.
No, he's not.
If you're gonna rely on someone to score, I feel like you could rely on Jimmy Butler to score.
Yeah,
get you those 18 to 20 points.
He definitely makes the right play almost all the time. He makes the right play at the right time.
I think in the bubble,
game a lot.
I think in the bubble we saw a different kind of Jimmy.
He didn't get a haircut for weeks.
Yeah, he did it. It was absolutely terrible. It was bad. But beside that, I think he showed us a different side of him. He showed us that he can go and give you 40 if you really need him to. That's not particularly what he wants to do. He wants to facilitate. He wants to defend. Yes. He wants the ball to move around. But he showed if I need to be that guy, I could be that guy.
He could be that guy.
Yeah.
So I understand. I understand why you have Jimmy Butler in here.
Like that's not like that. Like Jimmy Butler, I feel like he could be that guy if you need him to. You don't need him to drop 40 points, 30 every game. Why would you?
Like
you
you
facilitate your team and save that for when you need it.
He could easily win a game, like scoring 11 points, but he could also have 8 assists and 8 rebounds, but also hit the game-winning shot. Like he's just that dude. He wins games.
He's a
win
steals. And imagine if he had Chris Paul or something, just some dude that was like him, like that. I feel like the same mentality as him. Like he would have a chip, they would have a ring. I think. I mean, if Chris Paul was on that Heat team last year, I don't know if they'd be in the Lakers, but
that would have been. It would have been
a great series.
It would have been a little better. Way better.
It definitely would have been better.
Okay, so now you move on to number 7.
Number 7, I got Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Like I said with Jokic, if I'm gonna start a franchise, I'm gonna go with Davis. And the way he's been playing with the Lakers has been really good, including last year in the bubble. Mm-hmm. After LeBron retires and we move on from LeBron, I feel like Davis is that next guy up in the Lakers, and they're gonna build around that, and he's gonna prove why he could even get into the top 3, maybe 5 in the league.
I mean, that man just can't die. Apparently, like it's insane.
That man, he's gonna retire, and he's still gonna be
playing.
He's still gonna be a bucket.
And this moves you to number
6.
Yes, and who do you have?
For number 6, I have James Harden.
I
was thinking about when I made this list, I was thinking about putting James Harden a little bit lower or a little bit lower or a little bit higher, but like it was just I kept thinking about all the like players he's been around, and he just hasn't been able to get it done and like get to the next level. So that's why I have to put him down to number 6. I do feel like he's a great scorer, and he is a great scorer. Pretty much, there's not much in his game that he needs to work on. Maybe his defense, but I feel like he would definitely be higher on my list if he could get over that hump and take his team to the next level and eventually reach the finals and maybe get a chip.
He's definitely improved. He's one of the best low post defenders as a guard.
Number 5. This is one of my favorite NBA players in the league. I feel like he deserves a spot as well. I'm gonna go with Damian Lillard. Okay. That man is a bucket. Pretty much the last like year or two, you could see like why. Like he's that guy. He could drop 30, 60 if you need to. Yes. I feel like he could win a champion if they surround him more with the right pieces. I say get rid of McCollum, get somebody else, pair him up with somebody else, and possibly add like a third star. It doesn't need to be a superstar, but a third star would probably help. And he could definitely lead the Blazers to a champ in the next few years or so. I hope so.
Before we go on to number 4, a lot of the trades I saw a lot, speaking about the 76ers as well, a lot of the trades were possibly CJ McCollum.
I did see that.
And then other pieces as well. I think that would be fantastic for Philly. I don't know too much about how good that would be for Portland. But I mean, adding Ben Simmons can't hurt, right? I mean, he's one of the best defenders in the league, and he would definitely, I feel like, help Dame get open more. It would definitely take a lot of responsibility away from Dame to having to create all the time. And plus, that Blazers team they have right now is good. I mean, Nurkic and Rocco and CJ and Dame, they have a lot of good.
I remember.
They have a lot of good players. They have a lot of very good players.
Can't forget about Melo, man.
Oh yeah, and Melo's still on that team.
Nice veteran presence. Presence.
Great veteran presence.
All right, your number 4.
Number 4, I got Luka. This was kind of high. I felt like this was kind of high, and I'll definitely swap it out with one of the players that I had lower. But like at the time, I was just thinking about just like the way Luka performed his first year and the way he performed last year, and I know he was struggling a bit in the beginning of this year, but I felt like he's that guy, and he's gonna he's eventually gonna get over that hump. And the Mavericks are, I don't want to say maybe this year or next year, but I don't have a time frame for it, but I definitely feel they're gonna win a champion in the near future.
Yeah, soon.
And once they get their shit together, they're gonna be a dangerous team in the West. So I got Luka at number 4 because I feel like he could lead that team to the next level.
The only reason I didn't have Luka in my top 10 at all is just because, I mean, he was great last year in the bubble, especially that game winner of the Clippers. But again, I feel like he can take another step. And until I see that, I don't think I'm really ready to put him. Because, I mean, I don't think he's even scratched his potential yet, honestly.
Okay.
Which is insane because he averaged, 28, 9, and 9 last year.
I feel like he could,
wasn't he averaging a triple-double at one point?
Yes. I feel like he could easily average a triple-double. I feel like he's like Russ, but like just built way different.
Yeah.
Built way different.
I agree.
To let the viewers know, if you didn't know already, this top 10 list is in general based on the past few years. Yeah. So not based on this season. So that's why Luka's probably not in people's top 3.
Yeah. That was really the only reason. I think he can take another step. Not even like scoring, averaging wise, just leading his team,
all
making
around
winning plays.
Yeah.
Definitely, just like as a player, not like as a stat, grabber.
Yeah,
I feel like just as a person, as a leader, he could definitely take another step.
And you're number 3.
Number 3, I have Giannis. Pretty much, Giannis is just nasty. But the one thing that holds him back from being number 1 or number 2, is pretty much that playoff experience. He hasn't performed as good as he did in the regular season, in the postseason. I feel like once if he ever gets over that, and he eventually gets to the finals and wins a chip, and Milwaukee surrounds him with better pieces, because his second best player right now is Chris Middleton.
Chris Middleton, he's pretty good, but I mean, Milwaukee's a market where you can't really get superstars. So I mean, they got to work with what they have right now.
I understand, but Chris Middleton being a number 2, I feel like that's kind of a stretch. I feel like he is a good player, but
I understand that.
If you pair him up with somebody else, I feel like he could definitely progress more, and eventually he could win a few champions.
All right, and Gio will take a break. He will be right back with us. So,
geez, what is?
Man.
Okay, I was about to say, let's go for the Yerks.
All righty. That's pretty much it for Giannis. That's why I placed him at number 3. Number 2. All right. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, he's very close to being the best player in the world. He proved to us when he played in Toronto that he could lead a team. He could carry a team. He could do it all. When he went to the Clippers, I had higher expectations.
Me too.
I thought they were going to go farther. I didn't think that Clipper team was going to choke like they did, but they did. But it happens. Kawhi Leonard is just that guy. He won 2 champions in 2 different organizations. One was his first year, and he easily became the best Raptors player to ever play in a Raptors uniform, and that means a lot. Well, I don't know if that means a lot.
It does. It does. They've had some really good players. In their short history.
Overall,
Hakeem Olajuwon has played for the Raptors. He was very bad. He was like 40 years old though.
Vince Carter was best Raptors player.
Vince Carter was very good.
Tracy McGrady.
Was very good.
None of them were able to bring the champion like Kawhi did, and Kawhi did that, and I felt like that's enough to put him in the top 3.
Yeah,
he put a whole city, whole team, brought them to the champion. Even though the Golden State Warriors were injured, it was still a pretty good team, and they were able to beat them in 6 games. Was it?
Yes, 6 games.
6 games. Yeah, so I feel like Kawhi Leonard is definitely a number 2, very close to being number 1.
And honestly, you're number 1.
Hold on, before we go on to that.
Yep.
For Kawhi, I mean, the only reason I didn't have him at number 2, I feel like he was so close. He was so close to being the best player in the world after that Toronto run. If he would have even made the finals this year, I mean, he had so much momentum. He had so much like fan support behind him. Obviously, not from us Lakers fans, but really from everybody else because they wanted to see LeBron lose, and Kawhi was like, the dude to do that. Mm-hmm. But I think him choking, because I mean, it was him. It was him and Paul George. Really, they fell apart in the fourth quarter of Game 7. If he didn't do that and beat LeBron in the Western Conference Finals and went on, even if he lost the chip, I feel like it would have been easy to say that Kawhi is the best player on the planet.
I agree.
But he sold in one of the biggest moments, which is hard to. I mean, that hurts a lot on your standing. At least among NBA fans, I think.
Not only that, this is kind of off topic, but Paul George, he kind of like, ever since that last season in OKC, he's kind of like,
he kind of sucked.
He kind of took a step back.
He's kind of trash. I kind of hate that guy a lot.
Pandemic P.
Pandemic P. Plays like he has coronavirus.
Yeah, and Gio will join us right back.
My number one. I'm ready if you guys are.
Yeah, I wonder.
I wonder who it is. LeBron James.
Yeah,
it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Hate him or love him, he's proved that he can do it all: score, defense, facilitate the ball, lead a team, multiple teams, and win a champion.
Multiple teams.
And win a champion. That's big. Yes. And he's that guy. He's definitely in the GOAT conversation.
That guy.
And he might get 6 rings. I wouldn't doubt it.
Who knows? Not 6. I don't think 6, but I feel like we could definitely win another one this year.
He could come close.
I don't know about 6.
I wouldn't doubt it.
6 would be crazy.
I wouldn't. That's not something that
he could though. He could. It's LeBron. Who knows? It's LeBron.
It's LeBron. It's not something that you could.
It's LeBron.
It's not something you could count out. That's what I'm trying to say here. It's not something you can.
But listen, we're not here to talk about LeBron. We're here to do the top 10 list. And that was a great list. That was a great list. It was very different, which was good.
It started off kind of walky.
It did start off kind of walky slush, to be honest, but
you feel my number 10.
No, I get it. I completely understand your reason and your decision.
All right.
Now is time for Big Papa's list. All right. So for my honorable mentions,
you're the only one with honorable mentions. I guess you could say Jimmy Butler was one for me.
Honorable mentions.
I
have Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
I have Russell Westbrook. I have Kyrie, and I have Trae Young.
Wait, you have Russell Westbrook as an honorable mention for a top 10 NBA player list, which means that you think he's.
I think he's a top 15 over the past 3 years.
Okay, over the past 3 years. Okay, my fault. I was thinking about this year because he's been so ass.
Tripped up?
Shut up. Nobody cares about that tripped up shit no more. Nobody cares.
Yeah, because it's so easy.
It really is. I mean, he just gets those boards.
All right. For my number 10, you guys had him higher, but I have him a tad bit lower. I have Nikola Jokic.
I knew you were going to say that.
Now, let me tell you why.
Oh, my heart. That's my boy.
Let me tell you why. Nikola Jokic, he should be honored to be in my top 10 list to begin with.
I didn't even know you exist.
It's okay though. So I have him at 10 because I feel like he's just starting to get going. I mean, 2 years ago, we started to hear his name a lot more as the big man who's the best passer, one of the best passers in the league. He has changed the game. He hasn't really changed the game, but
not yet.
Not yet, but he's changed schemes. You can't put a Brook Lopez, you can't put a JaVale McGee, a Dwight Howard on him. He's a center, but you cannot put players because he can just do so much. He's not a point forward, but he's a point center.
The point center.
I guess we can use.
It's an insane term.
The only reason why I have him at 10 is because the playoffs. He played magnificent, but I feel like when he started to play the Lakers, he kind of took a step back. He didn't play.
Oh no, because Anthony Davis locked him up.
Yeah, he did.
You know,
but I mean, Anthony Davis is playing magnificent. But when it was time for Nikola, you know, he didn't do as well. But that doesn't take away from how good of a player he is. He made it to the Western Conference Finals. He was a top 5 seed in the Western Conference Finals, which was big last year because we saw the spread of talent around the West, and you know, that was a big accomplishment. I think he's sooner or later we're going to talk about him in the top 5, and it's not going to be ridiculous when you say it. But for now, I got him at 10. I think all these players. I get that. I think all these players that I have in front of him are worthy of being in front of him because of the workload and the type of player they are. So at number 9, I have Luka. All right, Luka Doncic. All right, Luka. What can you say about this player? He's the new Larry Bird, as a lot of people would say. It's crazy how you think he's such a young player, but the game is slowed down to his pace. He slows the game down to his pace. He's not one of the fastest players in the league, but
he's definitely not.
You have to change your game speed to his. He controls when he's on offense, he controls the pace of that side of the ball.
Yeah.
You have to it's so hard to guard him. There's so many things he can do to you. I feel like he has to improve his shot. As right now, he's shooting below 20.
Yeah, no, he's shooting exactly 20% from 3 right now.
Oh, exactly 20% from 3 right now. Last year he was low 30s, which
that's not terrible.
Which is not terrible.
But he could definitely shoot better.
The only reason why I have him at 9 is because of the worries I have about him as well, which include the shot. And my thing is, how much can he get better? We saw him as of right now. He kind of took a step back from last year. Last year was 29.99, and now
he did. But actually, when I was doing my research, he has improved his points per game to 27.6.
Yeah, but
he has definitely gone up.
But he's gone down from last year.
No, yeah. I'm just saying because before last time when we did this, he was at 24.
His rebounds and assists has gone down.
No, he's definitely taking a step back.
But I think he's still one of the top best players in the league. I think once I say these players in front of him, you wouldn't think I'm crazy at all because these players are worthy of being in front of Luka as of right now and based on like in general, kind of like 2-3 years in total. So at number 8, I got Mr. Dame Dollar. I would have him higher, but the playoffs is a huge thing. He has no MVPs yet. He doesn't have a scoring title. Yeah, those are a few things why I got him at number 8.
Yeah.
Understandable.
He's a really good player, without a doubt. Definitely a top 3-point guard in the league. When he's at his best.
It's crazy because he can play 1 through 3, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I could easily see him being a small forward, a shooting guard, a point guard. I mean, he's definitely taken on that positionless basketball thing.
Yeah. He's a very good player. I can't reiterate.
Wait, I forgot. We're not even I was talking about Luka. We're talking about Dame now.
I'm talking about Dame.
I was and you agreed with me. You agreed with me.
What'd you say?
I said he could play 1 through 3.
He could play 1 through 3.
He could not play the small forward. He could definitely play shooting guard.
He could play 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 2.
But back to what I was saying. Damian, one of the like streakiest shooters.
Yes, insanely streaky.
Other than probably Klay Thompson, Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few that are above him, but if you had to go against somebody and they had the last shot, you do not want.
Yeah, no, you don't want.
You do not wish that it was Damian Lillard because
he could shoot anywhere in the court.
Yes, he is. He's very dangerous. He's very dangerous. You saw what he did to when I was an OKC fan. They did me dirty. OKC did me dirty. No, what they did to that team is insane. I had to move on. I'm a Pelicans fan now. But back to what I was saying,
just for them to lose in the playoffs.
He's one of the best players in the league. He's still the crazy thing is he's still improving, and he averaged like 28, 29 last year.
Yeah.
And he's still improving. He's but I don't think he will ever be the number one point guard
unless Steph retires.
Unless Steph retires, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's no doubt about it. He's gonna go down as one of the best point guards to ever play the game.
Probably.
And yeah. At number 7. You see what I'm doing? I got the beard. James Harden, number 7.
I did not understand what was happening, to be honest.
All right.
Now I get it. Now I completely understand.
Yeah, now you completely understanding. You know I was touching my beard.
If I did it, it might have made sense.
I should have told you to do it. I don't know why. But at number 7, I have Mr. James Harden. One of the best scorers of all time. Averaged over 33 points the past 2 seasons.
Insane. And somehow didn't win the MVP.
Yeah, he didn't. Except for 2 years ago. No, 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years ago when he didn't average. He barely averaged 30.
Scoring is not the only thing that is a part of basketball, which is why I have him at number 7. Maybe if he was more of a complete player, I would have him higher.
What do you mean by complete?
Okay, so here's what I think. Obviously, we know that James Harden's he's a ball hog. Okay?
Yeah. No.
We already know that. I feel like if he had the knowledge of getting his teammates more involved, yes. If I
feel
you're
saying this man's basketball IQ is low?
No, I'm not saying it's low. I'm just saying like I feel like he should just get his teammates more involved.
I mean, Monte, if we want to talk about stats, if you want to talk about stats,
ball in his hands. What was it? I forgot what it was.
Let's just see.
Crazy percentage. It was some crazy percentage.
No, he does have the ball a lot.
Insane.
But also, I mean, who on that team is taking the ball out of his hands?
Eric Gordon.
You'd rather have Eric Gordon ISO than James Harden?
John Wall.
No, but why do I want to have one person ISO all the time? That's the point.
He's the best ISO player in the NBA?
It's the best. All right, so here's the thing. Here's why I have him at number 7, not top 5. Mm-hmm. Because yes, he is one of the best ISO players of all time. But what is that doing to help him win? All right. See, that's where some of the IQ comes in. You've been doing ISO ball for the past 5 years, and what has it done for you? Nothing at all.
MVP.
I'll give you that. The one MVP in 36 points per game.
Should be 2, honestly.
36 points per game scoring. But what is that leading to? He wants a championship, but he wants a championship, but he's not doing the things to change it.
Honestly, you do make great points, but I'm gonna, even though I did have James Harden at 8, for mostly kind of because he hasn't won a lot. But also the points that I don't think it's a lot of it is his fault. I mean,
I think it is.
They gave him a good. They gave him right. They tried to give him a star in Dwight Howard. Didn't work because Dwight Howard. I mean, he just wasn't that in Houston. All right, he didn't fit the team. Then they traded for Chris Paul.
But what was the problem? What was the problem? Why did Dwight Howard want to leave? Because he wanted to leave. Who?
Because he probably wanted.
We're gonna go down the ladder. Who?
All right, he wanted to. I don't know why he wanted to leave. I don't know why he wanted to leave.
He couldn't coexist.
Yeah, he couldn't coexist. He didn't want to play with James Harden.
All right.
Same thing with Chris Paul.
But Chris Paul did want to leave because of James Harden. But that was a champion. That was okay. Russ was bad. That did not fit. That did not fit. That did not. Let me talk.
This is my. I'll make the point, and you could go after. I just really want to make this point.
All right, go ahead.
Russell Westbrook, right? One of the hardest workers of all time, said he could not play with James Harden because he was late to practice. He didn't want to practice. There was no discipline in that team. He was the one who led the team. He made all the decisions, all the business decisions. If I wanted this person, it went through James Harden. James Harden did that. And we know this because of
that happens usually with stars.
Because the GM, what's his name? Myers? No, not Myers.
Daryl Morey.
Daryl Morey.
Their previous GM. He's on the Sixers now, I think.
Yeah, he is on the Sixers.
Yeah.
But they basically said all the business decisions in player trades and player pickups went through James Harden. He was the one who did it. So if he's the one making all these decisions and he's the one who's not winning any chips, it is on him. It is not on anybody. It's on him. And
so I guess if we are evaluating his GM skills, he is not a very good general manager since clearly he has not picked the right players. But I don't think that really matters for this. Playing with Chris Paul, that was their best chance to win a championship. Game 6, Chris Paul gets hurt. They lose Game 7. That's not his fault. Again, they missed 27 straight threes. That's not completely his fault. You can't put all the blame on him. He did and then last year or 2 years ago, Game 6, he took that Warriors team to 6 games pretty much by himself because Chris Paul, again, was injured.
Lost.
That team, I know they lost, but how can you blame him when his number 2 star is injured?
Because he's the one who picks up the team.
Listen, if you have James Harden at number 7 because he's a bad GM, I can't really say anything.
No, but that I was just about to get to that. But number 7 is not bad.
Number 7 is really good, but I don't agree with your reasoning.
It's really good. It's really good. And I'm also have him at number 7 because of body of work. He does put in a lot of work. The team success usually goes through him, but if it goes good, it goes through him. So if it goes bad, it also goes through him. So
that's valid.
That's how I look at it. Number 6, former defensive player of the year. He fixes unibrow. Mr. Anthony Davis. Mr. Anthony Davis, number 6. I don't have him higher because a part of me looked at it as Anthony Davis was on the Pelicans and didn't do anything in the playoffs, which matters a lot.
Also, Anthony Davis never won Defensive Player of the Year.
He didn't? I thought he won.
No.
Wow. Okay, then. Never mind then. But
he did. But
Anthony Davis. No, I thought he did. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm 100% sure.
All right. Well, never mind. It doesn't matter anyways because he's at my number 6. So, a smart part of me looks at he was on the Pelicans and didn't do anything, and he teamed up with LeBron and got a ring. But he does deserve credit for getting that ring because he put in the work. He did. He did his job. He was scoring. He was playing defense. He was doing everything. And he played a role. He played a factor in winning the chip, not just LeBron. But I feel like the fact that he needed one of the greatest players of all time to go somewhere, and then when he's with Rondo and DeMarcus Cousins and Drew Holiday, their first round exits every year.
See here. DeMarcus and Anthony Davis never played together in the playoffs.
Yeah, I was about to say that DeMarcus Cousins was hurt, but they still had a good team though.
That's understandable.
I understand they lost to the Warriors, but
they
got swept.
They lost to the Trailblazers. They got swept. That was their last playoff series.
They also lost
before that. That was Anthony Davis's first playoff run. But their most recent one, they got swept by the Blazers in the first round.
Right. But that's also
no, never mind. That was the other way around. What am I talking about? They swept the Blazers. My fault. I'm also tweaking.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. Got my brain hurt over here.
But that's kind of the only reason why I have him at number 6 is because his success is kind of depending on another person, but not solely on LeBron. So although I give him credit, but his body of work is not as large compared to one of these other players that I'm about to show, which gives me number 5, Stephen Curry. His body of work is crazy.
It is. It's probably one of the best in the NBA right now.
Nah,
probably the second best, to be honest.
Yeah, number 1 is at my number 3. But Stephen Curry, what can you say about this guy? He revolutionized basketball. Everybody's starting to shoot way more threes now. That's why people have opportunities to break these records now because of Steph Curry. Instead of shooting 3 threes a game from a great shooter, they're shooting 7, 8, 9
Yeah, man.
now.
Imagine Ray Allen now.
Imagine Ray Allen now.
11,
Ray
12
Allen,
threes.
Ray Allen, shoot 10.
Just go shoot, bro. They would just say just go shoot.
Ray Allen
do what you gotta do, bro.
Undoubtedly have all the records.
Oh yeah.
I think. But Steph Curry, one of the best shooters of all time. He can do everything. Really.
He can.
He's a decent rebounding point guard.
Yes, he's actually very underrated as a rebounder.
Yeah, he is underrated as a rebounding point guard. He's a great passer. The numbers may not speak for it. He doesn't get 10 assists a game, but I mean that's because of their offense. They move the ball a lot, and it can go through anybody's hands. But he is a great passer. He's a great scorer, efficient scorer at that. He's a career 43% from the three, which is great.
He's the best 3-point shooter of all time.
One of one of. So yeah, there's not much you can say about Steph Curry. I got him at 5 because he did have Kevin Durant on his team, but the same thing goes for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant had Steph Curry.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes both ways. But Steph Curry, one of the best. He's going to be one of the best, or at least the best point guard to ever play the game.
I mean, to me, he's already number 2.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be back. I think he's going to be number 1. I mean,
yeah, no, definitely.
But what more can you say about Steph Curry? One of the best point guards of all time. One of the best players right now, but this is just based on like the past 3 years in general.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant and Steph Curry didn't play last year, so that kind of affected it in a way too. At the next spot, I have another person who played with Steph Curry, Mr. Kevin Durant. I understand Steph Curry won a ring without Kevin Durant, and you guys will say, how can you put him above Steph Curry when you needed Steph Curry and all? No. If we're talking about it as a player, Kevin Durant is one of the most skilled, one of the best players to ever play. Mm-hmm. And he's 7 foot. One of the most efficient scorers in NBA history. So, although he did play with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond, he was the best player on the team. I think he was the best player on the team.
I think so as well.
I mean, I would probably take Curry.
Maybe they could have won. Maybe they could have won without Kevin Durant, but I feel like they probably could have won without Steph Curry. If Kevin Durant, here's how I say it: like if it was Kevin Durant, Klay, Draymond, and everybody else except for Curry, they probably still could have won those rings because the Cavs weren't that good. Come on now, Cavs are not that good.
So you admit it now, Monte.
The Cavs weren't that good. I'm just saying. But I feel like if you took KD out and then just only had –
because I do remember you saying that 2018 team was a super team.
Hey, that's another time. That's what I'm saying. So I feel like KD's not hired because last year affected him, obviously. But he's still one of the most skilled players of all time.
Okay.
At that. But the player that I got above him –
I can probably guess your top 3.
Player that I have above him has the most workload in the NBA, Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is almost everything for his team. If you took Giannis off the Milwaukee Bucks, no one will watch Milwaukee. They would
to be honest.
They would probably be an 8th seed. Maybe even worse at that. If you took LeBron off of the Lakers, they would still be decent. But I feel like Giannis has the most workload in the NBA. He was 2-time MVP the last 2 seasons, Defensive Player of the Year last year. What more can you say? The only thing, I'm not gonna lie, if he won the ring last year, he would be at my number 1 right now.
Oh no, probably. I was saying the same thing because if he would have won MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP, and a chip, I mean, what can you say to argue having LeBron over him?
I would have him at number 1, but I have Giannis here because, of course, everybody knows his playoff struggles.
Yeah.
He still has that monkey on his back that he needs to get over. Hopefully it's this year. It may be a little bit tougher because of the Nets, but he does have a real shot. He's one of 3 teams. Yeah, the Celtics, the Nets, Milwaukee, and maybe the 76ers.
I mean, in my opinion, I feel like the Bucks should easily beat those guys.
But I don't think they should easily beat the Nets because the Nets are an offensive juggernaut.
I feel like they could beat them in 6.
Maybe, but I feel like the Bucks are struggling a little bit on defense this year, which they need some help on. I think we talked about it a lot. I think it was in the second episode of our podcast. I talked about why he has slow starts. And their defense needs some help. But I have Giannis number 3, a very unique player.
Right.
He's starting
on this number 2. When you get to number 2, please do not tweak. I'm just saying that now. Please do not do what I know that you want to do.
So a very unique player.
I'm going to be quite upset, Monte. Honestly, I might leave the podcast right here.
And number 2, Bennett.
I might walk off.
You know who it is. You know how to.
No, it's Kawhi. It's Kawhi.
No. That's not Kawhi. It's not Kawhi. At number 2, we have No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was going to say. You were about to see me walk off this set right now.
Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard. If he would have won this year, he would have had the number 1 spot also.
No, definitely.
So 1 through 3, they could have been interchangeable, but since LeBron won the championship last year, he gets the edge over those 2. So I have LeBron number 1. I have Kawhi number 2. Let me just talk about Kawhi first. Kawhi, he doesn't have much to prove in the NBA anymore. He won 2 rings in 2 different franchises, as well as MVPs. One of the best two-way players of all time.
2 defensive player of the year.
Yep, 2 defensive player of the years.
Probably the second best two-way player of all time.
You saw his hands? You know how large his hands are? That's why he's able to.
His hands are probably this big, but like not zoomed in.
That's why he's able to steal. Because give me the ball.
Yes.
Give me. You know what I mean? All right. So
all those highlights of him stealing the ball without even looking.
Yeah. The finger. You saw him block the shot with the middle finger. That was crazy.
If you watch Black Clover, that man probably just reading other people's keys at this point.
Yeah,
stealing all the balls without having to look. He just.
But
he knows what the fuck's going on.
He doesn't have much to prove in the NBA anymore.
No.
But
which is so crazy because we say that LeBron still has stuff to prove, but we all agree that Kawhi doesn't have anything left to prove.
Yeah, Kawhi is 2-1 in the finals.
2-1, yeah.
I think I think what is he like 30, 29?
Probably 30.
Yeah, he's like 30.
I think he's like 30.
Early 30s.
Which is crazy because he just blew up.
Yeah.
Very recently. If it was 5 years ago, probably.
Yeah, I feel like the Clippers have a good shot this year again. But that West is very tough. It's really tough. Really. But we'll see what happens in the NBA.
Who's their head coach?
Tyronn Lue, which is why I don't think they really have a chance. But
at number 1,
maybe he'll surprise me. Maybe.
But at number 1, I have to show my respects to Mr. King James.
Yes.
Are
unanimous number 1?
What can you say about LeBron? Longevity.
Absolutely.
One of the greatest of all time. A pat statter.
A pat statter?
Stat patter.
So you can't even say it right. That's how you know you're capping.
Stat patter.
Can't even say it right. That's how you know it's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if he could do it, Russ could do it. Feel me? But anyways,
I hate this guy.
Yeah, LeBron is one of the greatest players of all time. Although I don't think he's the best of all time, which some may argue. He's undoubtedly one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
He's a top 5.
I know. It's top 2, Monte, but we're not going to talk about. I don't want to talk about that. Everybody talks about. I don't want to talk about that.
Of all time, but
at least yes, a top 5 player of all time.
You know, a lot of people don't appreciate him as much as he should because once he leaves this game,
it's going to be so crazy.
It's going to be crazy.
It's a league without LeBron.
It's going to be very hard to,
That's like a league without Tom Brady. Like that's just so weird.
That's crazy.
It's so crazy.
It's very soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is our top 10 NBA list from all 4 of us.
Yes.
So I don't know what you guys want to do. Did you guys want to?
I think this is a good spot to end. I feel like we could do the NFL one. Another time.
All right, we could. Yeah. But I appreciate everybody for watching and being tuned in to our first live podcast.
Yes.
We'll definitely do this more. I enjoyed this. But thank you everybody for watching.
Thank you everybody for even for commenting.
Yeah, even for commenting, which was mainly Kevin.
Yeah, but, Kevin was talking. Kevin was talking.
But
we'll start
everybody.
More.
Thank you everybody for watching.
Yes.
If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like, and when this video is posted, make sure you share it.
And also, as soon as the stream ends, don't forget 101 Watts on YouTube. Just uploaded a brand new video. It's a banger as usual. Like, subscribe, notification.
Isn't that you, bro?
That's me.
Smack like on this video.
That's me.
Smack like on this video.
I'm that
guy. Like, comment, subscribe, man.
But yes, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time on episode 5.